Hey gamers, Game with Melko here, bringing you another Clash Royale deck spotlight video. That's right guys, another deck spotlight, and this is going to be featuring one of my favourite decks, and a deck that I have highlighted before, but a deck I'm having absolutely loads of fun with in Royale Arena, in Legendary Arena. Now I absolutely love this deck, and it is performing so well, and it is so consistent. So guys, before we go further, do me a big favour and smash that like button. Let's see if we can get 30 likes on this video. And let's go have a look at the deck that we've been using. That's right guys, it is the Sparky Log Deck. Oh yes guys, that's it, it's the Sparky Log. So let's just have a look at the card that we have been utilising. First up is the man himself, we have the Giant. Following that up is the dude with the tash, the Prince. We have the luscious lady herself, the Witch, coming in next. We have the Log rolling all the way for us. We then have the Sparky itself, deadly in disguise. We have the Mega Minion. We have the Zap spell. And we have the guy with the blue hair, the Ice Wizard. We all love the Ice Wizard. So guys, how has this deck actually been performing? As you can see, the deck has been performing remarkably well. In its last 4 battles, again, it has come up victorious 4 out of 4 times. With a solid 2-1 victory, 3-0 victory, a 1-0 victory, and a 3-0 victory. So the first one we're going to have a look at is someone using the Expo deck, which obviously they are using to comprehend with the challenges. So let's have a look at how we did with this deck. So as you can see guys, we don't have the elixir collector in this deck, so it's all about waiting to get the elixir built up as quickly as possible before starting our push. As always guys, remember to wish your opponent good luck. I'm going to start it off with a push down this left hand side with the Sparky itself. So you can see our opponent's deciding what to do, and then he drops the bowler in the back. So the bowler is actually quite a good card for the Sparky because it does obviously take some of that damage. Now our opponent then does drop those, what do they drop down there? That minion horde. So we do obviously take down that bowler and that minion horde at this point. So we're going to let our elixir build back up. So we're going to drop the witch off in the back to obviously start our push again down this side, and hopefully get the giant down behind it. Now it's at this point our opponent is going to drop his expo on the opposite side of the field. So I drop my giant down in front because I want him to take that hit, but unfortunately he doesn't go for that, and he actually goes for the witch. For some reason I then drop my log to take out that there, and we use the Zap spell to take out that horde. Unfortunately the miner then does come in to start doing some damage to our tower. I drop down the Ice Wizard just to slow him down slightly. So at this point guys, we are slightly ahead, getting our opponent's tower down to 1940, where ours is sat at 2327. So at this point guys, we want to reset that elixir, so we're going to let our elixir build. But that Ice Wizard obviously is going to do a little bit of damage to that tower, not too much, but end of the day, he's doing just enough. So our opponent is then going to drop down the bowler yet again, so we're going to go down with the Sparky. So at this point guys, it's looking quite an interesting battle, and we're just going to wait to see what our opponent decides to do next. So as you can see, that elixir is building up, so we're going to drop down the giant, and then we're going to drop down the Mega Minion to counter those minions. Now our opponent does drop down that log spell, and then he does drop his spell there, but at this point guys, we are still looking quite good. So we have the Mega Minion, we have our log down, there we go, and we're hopefully going to get off at least one shot on this tower, which we're able to get, and we're also able to hit that bowler at the same time, getting that tower down to 194. So at this point guys, we're going to then drop the Sparky down again, and the Ice Wizard. We're going to then drop down the Witch to try and help take out those minions, which they do very comfortably. We're then going to drop the Giant in the front, so now we've got a Giant, Ice Wizard, Witch, and Sparky coming down this far side. Unfortunately our opponent then decides to drop that horde. Unfortunately I do miss most of them, but we do take that tower, and that Mega Minion is going to start to take out those minions as well. But as you can see, we've got the Giant, we've got everything going in on this tower, the Witch, the Sparky, the Ice Wizard, and that tower is just going to melt. There we go, guys, for a very solid 3-0 victory. And that's how dominant this deck can be. Obviously, it was just a fun deck the opponent was using, but nonetheless, it was still a good, solid victory. Let's have a look at our latest 3-0 victory here against an opponent who has some cards slightly lower level than ours. As always, guys, remember, wish that opponent good luck. Now, we don't have the Sparky in our hand, and we don't have it next up either. So we're going to just wait and do our push down this left-hand side, starting with the Giant in the background. At the same time, our opponent does drop down his Princess, which is going to do a bit of damage to our Giant, but not too much. Now, we do have that Log spell there, which we will utilise shortly to take out that Princess and do a bit of damage to the tower and to that Ice Wizard. Our opponent then drops down his Mega Minion, so we've got our Ice Wizard down and our own Mega Minion as well. Unfortunately, our opponent does then drop that Inferno tower, which makes short work of our Giant. Obviously, the Giant's biggest enemy. So we drop down the Witch to counter this Lumberjack here, which we make short work of it. Now that Fireball does come in and does some serious damage to our Witch, and unfortunately because of that we only do a bit of damage with the Ice Wizard. So guys, at this point we are basically level again, and we do have a slight elixir advantage here, so we're going to start off our push down this left hand side. As you can see, so far we haven't dropped down that Spark yet or that Prince, so our opponent doesn't know what we're holding. So our opponent's just waiting to drop his card, so we're going to drop down the Sparky behind the Giant. At this point, we're just going to wait to see what our opponent then does after dropping his own Ice Wizard. Our Ice Wizard goes down, followed by our Mega Minion to take out our opponent's Mega Minion. Now we do have the Zap spell here to obviously slow down that Inferno tower, but now we have the Giant, the Mega Minion, the Ice Wizard, and the Sparky going on that tower. So we take down that first tower very quickly once all those troops get locked on. We now have the Sparky, the Mega Minion, and the Ice Wizard going on this tower. Our opponent does decide to Fireball, but that second shot is able to get that tower down to 899. We do have the Giant now going in on this tower, and he's just going to batter away its defences very quickly. There we go again, guys, for another solid 3-0 victory. This deck, guys, is so good. It's so versatile as well. It can work on both offense and defense. So we're going to have a look now at this 1-0 victory where our opponent was running the Hog Rider deck. Obviously he does have the Rockets in there with the Minions, the Wizard, the Fireball, his own Giant, the Inferno Tower, and the level 11 Zap spell. So let's have a look at how he was able to pull off a interesting 1-0 victory here. So we're going to start off, guys, just waiting for that elixir to build up, and as always, wish that opponent good luck. Our opponent wishes a good luck. I've just realised, guys, the microphone was turned off there, so I don't know, obviously, how much of that has not been recorded. We shall see. So, guys, the deck consists of the Giant, the Prince, the Witch, the Log, the Sparky, the Mega Minion, the Zap, and the Ice Wizard. So, guys, that's it from me. If you like what you see, comment below, let me know. If you've not subscribed, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you gamers next time.